Hello Gemini, and welcome to your December 2025 tarot card reading. We're going to get started with an oracle card, a card from our animal spirit deck, to see what type of energy you're entering into for December. Perfect. Turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. All right. Well, we just got done celebrating Thanksgiving, right? For those who do in our northern hemisphere. And it was a time for gratitude, and it was a time for grace. And it's a great holiday to take some time out, share a meal, and to take the time out just to be thankful without all of the rushing around and, commercialism of getting ready for Christmas. So the universe is saying, continue to do that. Continue to be in that spirit of things for this month. So let's go ahead and get some additional cards here. See where we're going for Gemini. Okay, so we have the Justice card, Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Let's move these down a little bit. Putting them out a little too high, I think. All right, so we know that give with gratitude and grace keeps us in a lighthearted spirit, which is where I'm drawn with this Three of Cups. The Three of Cups tells me that you're still in this, period where you're surrounded, the circle of love and support from family and friends, and how grateful you are, and really a graceful period, to be around loved ones, to be around the people that support you. Now, the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands are saying something a little bit different here. And what's really interesting to me is that the Eight of Swords is really a it all is, because it's in our head, right? This is in our mind. You're thinking of something and it's got you tied up. It's got you unable to move on. It has you in this circle, the self-imposed little prison, kind of immobilized, not able to get back into the circle, of grace and gratitude and celebration. You're thinking about something and you're kind of obsessing about it, It's kind of creating your own little hell loop. And I'm actually reminded of a really cool Zen allegory. And it's about 2 months walking a path. And they come across a woman who's struggling to get across the stream. So the elder monk stops and carries her across the stream, places her down, and then he just returns back to the other monk. And they continue to walk down their path. And the younger monk, is silent. The elder monk is silent. And, but the younger monk is really kind of in this Eight of Swords thing. He's kind of steaming over some things, He keeps on going over this scenario. And finally, he couldn't stand it anymore because he's getting increasingly agitated in this loop that he keeps on playing in his mind. And he says to the older monk, "You broke our vows when you carried this woman across the stream." And the older monk replied, "I may have carried her across the stream, but you've been carrying her ever since." Right. We need to let it go. We need to stop dwelling on the past, stop dwelling on an old story, and enter into the circle of grace and gratitude. So that's one of my favorite allegories. I think it kind of illustrates a lot of different stories for a lot of people. I mean, we all get in our heads and we, like, I can't believe he said that or she did this. And it becomes this loop, really. And it becomes, it's a little bit of a decaying effect on our soul, unable to move on. Now, the Nine of Wands, interestingly enough, is kind of looking over here and saying, I'm just tired of it. I'm kind of weary of protecting that story. What was I protecting it for? There's no reason. This isn't my claim to fame. And, it puts you in a martyr position when you keep on, replaying an old story. So the message is really definite, Gemini, and the message is to stay here in your social circle where you shine. I mean, you definitely shine. You're the child of Mercury. That's your planet, and Mercury is social and fast and chatty, and this is who you are, and this is where you shine. So get back to that. All right. Our next card is the Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, and the World, and the Seven of Cups. Okay. So we know that the Seven of Pentacles is you looking at your assets, you looking at your bank statement, you looking at like, what do you owe, what do you have in savings, and how are you making ends meet type of thing. And that's probably why you were in this Eight of Swords thing, and we can all relate to that. And the reason I say that is because you have a bunch of planets here, including your ruler Mercury, with Pluto in your 8th house. Now, your 8th house is other people's money. It's your loans, it's your debt, it's your taxes, inheritance. It's, a deep interconnection with somebody with the shared resources. And so this is all about your money. This is about your relationships and your money. So Gemini, you've got a little bit of concentrating to do in this area. The planets are lining up here saying that, it's time to kind of talk about this problem that you've been keeping bottled up and taking on all this stuff, And so that's interesting, right? Because down here, and I'm going to jump for a minute at the Seven of Cups, because the Seven of Cups is saying you've got options. Now, what are those options? Those options mean that, if you don't like the terms of your relationship or the terms of your loan, you can make some changes here. That's the beauty of our world, right? We have a very infinite amount of abundance for us all. And so there's some options that are going to be available to you, which really is... that's part of the blessings. That's part of, the abundance and the grace of the universe too. Because when we don't feel we have options, that's when we kind of get stuck in our loops and our, defensive modes. You do have options, and you do have another opportunity along with your options coming in with this Ace of Pentacles. So yes, you're going to concentrate on the Seven of Pentacles. And by the way, it's kind of reaping what we sow. The Seven of Pentacles is about truth. It's kind of like that farming, adage, how much effort you put into your crops is going to help determine what you sow, what you reap. And so, this is an opportunity for you to look at your investments, to look at your, all of the finances that you're sharing with somebody is coming under purview. So, all right, let's get one more card. That was a pretty direct message, but I had to say it. It just came to me. All right, exceeding expectations. Wow, I love this. I soar into excellence. Yeah, you do. Well, first of all, this is a successful ending to a journey. You've got this Ace of Pentacles, which is coming in right after what you feel is not enough assets to get you going. Some more big opportunities, financial opportunities are coming your way. And these are the options I was talking about. So yeah, you are exceeding your expectations, and you're going to fall right back into the circle of support and grace and gratitude. I love it. If it resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. Wishing you balance, peace, and harmony. Take care.